In my now 20 plus years of covering American politics, I do not think I have ever seen a single politician consistently root against the United States more than Donald Trump has. Of course, this past weekend during his speech in Georgia, he congratulated not President Biden for the prisoner swap, but he congratulated Russian dictator Vladimir Putin instead. So right there, you're already going against America and siding with the guys that we had to swap the prisoners with because he had locked up our people. And you're praising him instead of the President of the United States. That was definitely a bad move. But then, that happened on Saturday. On Monday, of course, we all woke up and saw, oh God, the sky is falling, because the stock market took a dip. Okay? Which, by the way, on Tuesday, it immediately had started righting itself. But conservative media, Stuart Varney on Fox News was out there saying, oh, look at this, we're heading to a recession from like one day of bad stocks. Recessions take 6 months of downward GDP growth, okay? Not one day of bad stocks, but they're not smart people, so, give them a little leeway there. But it was Donald Trump himself who seemed to be cheering on the stock market crash because he thought this was somehow going to make Kamala Harris look bad and him look good. So on Monday morning, Donald Trump put out a series of about half a dozen posts in the span of an hour and a half, essentially celebrating the downturn in the stock market. Here's what he said. At 8:12 a.m., he said, quote, all caps, by the way, stock markets are crashing, job numbers are terrible, we are heading to World War III, and we have two of the most incompetent leaders in history. This is not good. 15 minutes later, he posted this on Truth Social. Japan down 12%, India down 6%, Germany way down also, the U.S. really bad. This is a preview of the world markets without Donald J. Trump in the White House. None of this happens if Trump is in. Kamala and the markets don't go together. She'll destroy the markets. She's in power now, and look at what's happening. 1 week of the fake media saying better polls, and you get a market crash. And then, about an hour and a half later, he says this. Of course there is a massive market turndown. Kamala's even worse than Crooked Joe. Markets will never accept the radical left lunatic that destroyed San Francisco and California as a whole. Next move, the Great Depression of 2024. You can't play games with markets. Kamala crash. And then, voters have a choice, Trump prosperity or the Kamala crash and Great Depression of 2024, not to mention the probability of World War III if these very stupid people remain in office. Remember, Trump was right about everything. 14 minutes later, he puts out a simple post that says, Kamala crash. 1 minute later, he said, Trump cash versus Kamala crash. He's actively rooting against the United States. He's rooting for your 401k to hit a zero balance. That is what he wants. And again, it was a bad day. Bad days happen on Wall Street all the time. But it also follows 2 years of really great days. Overall, the stock market is still up. And the reason has nothing to do with Kamala Harris, has nothing to do with President Biden. The reason, of course, is because job growth, the numbers came out on Friday, slowed a little bit. We only gained 114,000 jobs in the last month, which was lower than the previous months. But the previous months had been blowing expectations out of the water, so the U.S. economy is not actually in any signs of trouble. And as I mentioned, 24 hours later, it's starting to right itself anyway. Bad days happen on the stock market all the time. Trump should know that. He had a lot of them while he was president of the United States, to the point where at one point in his presidency, he claimed that the markets were doing it on purpose to make him look bad. But we have had 4 years almost with President Biden in office, and the markets have hit record highs. Highs never seen before in this country. Not to mention the fact that the majority of people in this country actually have $0 at all in the stock market, so they're not really affected. If it were to happen in the long run, months and months of downward trends on Wall Street, yes, it would affect everybody. Because we base our economy on this completely made-up thing. And yes, the stock market is just a made-up thing. Like, we just created this, and we assign values to it, and you buy things that don't actually exist, and then you sell those things that don't exist to somebody else so you can buy more things that don't exist. But the sky is not falling. We are not even close to being headed towards a recession. No matter what Trump says, no matter what the idiots at Fox News say, they are not smart people on the economy, and the economy was far worse when they were in power. Things are fine. And Trump's idiotic talking points don't make Kamala look bad. They just make him look like he's rooting against America.
Hi, everyone. This here is Little Athena. And Athena would like to know why you haven't subscribed to Fair and Balanced yet. So please, don't let Athena down. Subscribe today.